So welcome everybody to Solarity webinar. We will give people a few minutes to join, but welcome whoever is here. So I think we can start. So welcome everybody to Solarity webinar, an overview of PV modules in our portfolio. And this webinar will be in English, and we will interpret it to Czech, Polish, Ukrainian, and Hungarian. And it will be held from Solarity, and me, sales director of Solarity, will have one part, and one more important part will be held by our product manager, Vojta Rosík. And we have some, and we will also be translating, as we said, so it will be simultaneously. And you will see in your Zoom that you can choose between different languages here. And unfortunately, the languages are not matching the languages that we are translating to. But so it's considered as English, Chinese, French, and German. But you will choose these channels and you will get the interpretation in your language that you are looking for. So that's this. And I hope everybody is in the right translation channel, and I will start with a small poll just to see where you are from, and I will start the poll now. So we are in total around 40 people here on this webinar, and we are so you see, we are quite even between Hungary, Czech Republic, and other countries, and we are a few people from Ukraine as well. So welcome everybody, and let's get going. So the agenda today is I will give you a short introduction of Solarity. Don't worry, I will not be that long. Just give me a few minutes to introduce to you who we are. We will also talk about the overview of the portfolio, what we are holding there. We will talk about mounting structures. We will talk about K2 system and new products. We will also talk about the next 6 months, what is coming on the market, which type of product groups are evolving, and so on. And we will also briefly discuss the issues that many of our customers are facing, and that is supply issues with transport and prices, etc. And then in the end, there will be a Q&A session, so we cannot stop all the way around. So please, in the end, the Q&A will be there. There is in Zoom, you will see a small little icon for Q&A. Please ask all your questions there, any language you want. You ask them there, and they will be answered in the end of the webinar. And the webinar will take around 1 hour. So let's sorry, I just got a chat message. So who is Solarity? Solarity, we try to be your solar partner. And where do we come from? So we actually started our business as an EPC, as many of you who is here attending this webinar, installing PV in Czech Republic. And at this time, it was we saw that we had some participants from Czech Republic here on the webinar, and you know that Czech Republic was a little bit of a special market, and it was heavy subsidies, and it was good business in 2009, 10, not so good business, and we had to change our business model because the market changed very, very much, and the PV at this point was a quite new business. So we changed from being an EPC to become a distributor, and today we are one of the more recognized international distributors in Central East Europe. So today we deliver around 250 megawatt a year. We do that on 30 countries. We have 10 nationalities. We have 4 nationalities on the webinar. Me, myself, is from Sweden. My name is Thomas, as I said. And we are people from Ukraine, from Morocco, from Jordan, etc. in our company. And we also have our own offices in different areas. You can see it, I will not read it for you, but we are represented on seven offices all around Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So what we do, we are a distributor, and a distributor, our job is to do things like we are doing here today, to be a neutral part between manufacturers and installers. And you will also see some comparisons between different manufacturers. And we will link you together with these today quite massive companies. And we are stocking for you, and we are taking care of your supply of goods. That is our job. And to do this, we think that now 2021, soon 2022, is that the box moving, or let's say buying cheap and selling expensive, those days are by. So we need to have an added value as a distributor. And we do this with technical know-how. So we have one technical representative on each market we are active on. We also work with different type of financial solutions like factoring, external LC, etc., etc. We also are launching. We have launched a partner program, and we launched a new version of it, where you as a customer can get some benefits. The more you purchase, the more benefits you will get, and this is one way for us to kind of nurture you as a customer. And as I mentioned, local support for us, that is important, and we do this by a local language, so we should be there to help you. And I think now with the increased complexity, especially with storage, EV charging, etc., which product is right for this application, we have this type of competence that you can always contact. And training, of course. Training, we train roughly around 3,000 professionals a year, different type of training, product trainings, webinars as well, but also face-to-face, sometimes together with manufacturers, sometimes on our own. And then, of course, logistics. So we have logistic solutions. We have 2 warehouses in Europe. We have warehouses in Ukraine. We have warehouses in Middle East. We can also supply goods directly to the installation if that is needed. So, as I mentioned, three continents we are active on, and main focus, and also we can see that participants on this webinar is actually where you are. We are focused on Central East Europe, in Europe, and the Middle East and Africa. But in Europe, mainly it's circulated about Hungary, Poland, Ukraine, Czech Republic, Slovakia. That is where we also have our representative office. So when we choose a product, so what we focus on is actually we try to get a product that you find easy to sell to your customer. It should be easy for you to install, and it needs to be here not only today but also tomorrow. The performance needs to be proven, because the warranty that today a PV farm that lasts for like 20 years, and we need to make sure that our products are there for 20 years as well. So we focus on recognized tier 1 suppliers, and we have good and long relationship with them, and they've been with us for quite some years. Some of them have been here since the start for 10 years, which is a lifetime in PV industry, as you know. And we do everything for the residential offers like modules, inverters, etc., EV charging, anything you need, we have in our portfolio. And with the same is for the projects. So we should be seen as one supplier that are able to supply with all the material that you necessarily need for your product. So I think I have talked long enough, so I will end my presentation. I hope I didn't bore you too much with one poll. And again, because I would love to know if you have worked with us. So let's see if you have been doing business with Solarity. Oh, it's close. So 60, I give you 10 more seconds. 70% have voted, or 66%. Oh, okay, I will end it now. And so roughly 50% of you have never bought anything from us. So this is good. Now you know a little bit more about us, and you will know more after this webinar. And 50% is our customers. So thank you very much for being a customer of Solarity. So thank you very much. That was all for me. And I will hand over to Vojta.
Hello, good morning. Nice to meet you, everybody. I will share my screen. Hopefully everybody can see it. So my name is Vojta Rosík, for short, Vojta Rosík. I'm a product manager in Solarity, in a group of Solarity companies. And I prepared for you presentation and a webinar about PV modules, about trends and market for next year. So I will start with segments. Then I will speak about roadmap for specific brands, and we will show you something in the end about test bench. We use Czech Technical University in Prague. We cooperate with them, with their laboratory, and there are some interesting things that we would like to share with you. So residential modules. I will start with Jinko, with Tiger series, black frame, silver frame, all black, and also silver frame. These modules are usually used in residential, the small dimension to easy handling in a roof. I will start with black frame Ntype from Jinko, which we will speak also later about Ntype. It perfectly fit for residential solution because of longer warranty. In this case, 15 years for performance and 30 for product itself, and 30 years for performance for linear degradation. In this range, in this series, we can offer you 410 or 415 watt peaks. And in case of P-type, it's 390 and 400 watt peaks for black frame. In Canadian Solar case, there is a high Q series for silver frame 375. And in case of black frame, there's a interesting, let's say, offer or promotion from Canadian for 365 up to 380. If you install these modules, black frame, on a residential project, on a rooftop, you took a picture, then there is a possibility to extend warranty up to 25 years for product and performance. In Phono, in Sumet's case, there is a Twin Plus series, a silver frame 415 and 380 black frame. Q-Cell has two series right now, G9, 335 or 340. We have a full black, or G Plus, G9 Plus, which is extended warranty product with 25-year for product. And there is a new series in QCell portfolio. It's called G10. So right now we will have for you 405 watt peak modules. I have a pool for you regarding Ntype modules. So we can see how it looks like in your cases. Then later I will speak about Ntype, let's say from work perspective. So it will be a little bit more interesting, but for residential, I would say it's a perfect product because of warranty. I mean also the performance, and for temperature coefficient, perfectly fit for these smaller projects. So 40% participants. I will wait a little bit more, 10 seconds. Okay. So 58%. No, I need more information to decide. I'm happy to hear it. So we will speak about it later and in another session for sure, and in our newsletters for sure. 27%, yes, better performance warranty, perfect, and no other reason, okay, 15%. So thank you for it. And we will continue with commercial segment. We will start with Jinko, Tiger and Tiger Pro. We pre-ordered for you 470 watt peak modules, and for Ukraine market there are special order for monofacial 530 up to 450 watt peaks 4 megawatts pretty much, and also bifacial special for Ukraine, something like 5 containers, 1.5 megawatt peak. Regarding Phono, there is 450 watt peak module, 2 containers, and in Canadian case, we are talking about HiQ and bifacial modules by HiQ series. We pre-ordered pretty much 13 megawatts right now, 450 up to 460 watt peak, and bigger one 540 watt peak, and also bifacial. We hear some demand from the market for bifacial modules for commercial segment and industry. It also makes sense for a rooftop installation when you have east-west installation. So from south side you have some reflection and some light. So it's a good solution also for rooftop. I have one more pool for this slide. So we will see how you see the commercial projects with bifacial modules. Okay, so 20% participants, 30% is growing, and results would be interesting. Okay, 50% participants. Bifacial modules nowadays are a lot of, I mean, the often usage is some, let's say, south globe, I would say, also tracker installation or carports, but the price difference is so low and the gain is so big that market changed a little bit. So sharing results. Thank you for answers. 66% no demand from the market, and 34% you can see the market for commercial rooftop, which is interesting. Thank you for it. So utility projects. Here in this picture you can see nice project in Central Europe. It's a Uranian old mine, and the photovoltaic is around, so it's basically brownfield. In Canadian solar case, there is a available series Haiku 6 and Haiku 7 for monofacial modules. So here we can see 580 up to 670, pretty big new modules. Be careful when you do the design. Haiku 6 has 14 amperes and Haiku 7 18 amperes. In case of bifacial modules, by Haiku 6 and 7, there is a availability of 575 up to 660 watt peaks. Jinko has a Tiger Pro series for this segment. It's a modules monofacial 530 up to 550 with 14 amps. In bifacial case, there is similar availability 525 up to 620. In this case, I have on one more tool for you regarding bigger modules. Still handling my 2-person, it's possible. The weight is usually around 30 kilos. Okay, 20% participants answered. Yeah, 4, 8. I will wait 10 more seconds. Okay. Thank you. So 40% no high current and big dimension, no other reason, and 20% yes of better performance. Thank you. Good to know this. And we will continue with roadmap as I mentioned in the beginning. By the way, there is a question and answer section. You can click to that specific button and place your question, which will be answered in the end of this webinar. And this webinar will be sent to your email address after we will finish. So everything you will receive from our side. So when we are talking about Canadian Haiku and Haiku 6, in Haiku series in first quarter and whole 2022 year, there will be mainstream module 455 watt peak. In Haiku 6, there is for first quarter 540, and the rest of the year it will be 5 watt peaks more, so 545. In Jinko case, there is a for a whole year 470 watt peak, the mainstream, and in a Phono Twin Plus series, there will be in beginning of the year 450, and rest of the year also 5 watt peaks more, so 555. So now you know the mainstream. When you will project, when you will prepare the project or design it, you know with what you will count. When we are thinking about next year, year 2022, there was pretty much articles that were announced, expectation. Next year should PV market grow 20 years compared to this year. We will see the more often and often Ntype modules, not only for residential, but also for other, let's say, projects. Modules are bigger. We could saw it in the past. It will continue. Bifacial modules will be also more often and often in standard projects, also in our area of Europe, because of so little difference of price. Zero gap, we know about it. It's more common thing because of efficiency. Floating system, we would like to build PV projects also on the lakes to use this, let's say, space. By the way, Solarity has pretty much a nice experience in Morocco. We delivered some material to first floating power plant in Morocco. There are also some articles, and also in our newsletter was some interesting information about it. As I saw trackers, so there will be bigger modules mounted on that trackers, 1 port thread, 2 port threads with bifacial modules, and agrivoltaic together with the floating will be more common. I have a pool about current situation on the market. Will the current situation on the market affect your projects in 2022? I will continue with technology and prices, but I would like to know, or we would like to know your opinion right now about the market. Okay, so 25% participants answered. I will wait 10 more seconds. Okay. Share results. Yes, I have problem with price and availability. 56, let's say 60%. Another yes, 24%, and no, same for me, 20%. Okay. Thank you for answering. We will continue with that Ntype technology. In past, Ntype was the, let's say, main technology, or the first technology for PV modules. Then they found out P-type is the cheaper option, the more suitable for, let's say, globe. But right now the Ntype is more and more often also in other markets. In past it was, let's say, okay, there is a Japan project. Japan clients are more, let's say, difficult, or they want a high-tech technology, so it was, let's say, Ntype from the PV manufacturers, I mean. And nowadays we can see also I saw the project in Oman with Ntype utility scale project, and it's a good solution because of temperature coefficient, for example. So we see from the market that Ntype will be more often, not only in residential but also in commercial and utility segment. We compare for you prices 2020 compared to current situation in 2021. Here you can see the comparison G1, M6, M10, and G12 modules. So situation for M10 and G12 is, let's say, between October and November a little bit stabilized, but still it's 20% more compared to last year, and G1 and M6 is still growing and growing. So situation is really crazy right now. When we are talking about the main material, polysilicon, prices USD per 1 kilogram in 2020, when the market was, let's say, the best for us. $6.7 per kilogram was for polysilicon, and nowadays it's more than $36 per 1 kilogram. So this is also why one problem, from more, why PV modules are so expensive right now, why the trend from the past is not continue, like it's every year cheaper and cheaper. Transport cost. There is a graph for 20 feet containers, some average prices from China to Europe. You can see the price is, let's say, stabilized right now, $7,500 per this 20 feet container. For 40 feet container, usually it's just double price, so around $14,000-15,000 per one container. If you imagine the prices last year in first quarter was around 2,000, and now it's like 15,000. It's crazy. And one container is 330 kilowatt peak, so this is a huge impact. When we are talking about some added value of Solarity, we have some technical knowledge, we have technical department, and we would like to be a better and better partner for you. We cooperate with Czech Technical University here in Prague. They have a department of electrotechnology, laboratory of photovoltaic system diagnosis. Pretty long, pretty difficult name, but nice and experienced laboratory. We sent to them Jinko, Ntype, Q-cell, full black, and Phono module. These two P-types. What Czech Technical University did. First, they start with they did electroluminescence test. The current pass through PV cell, light emission occurs. So this is that electroluminescence, let's say, process. This can detect hidden defects in structure of PV cells, and why we do it. We can see micro cracks, cell cracks, PID, diode failure, or that cell backsheet can be also scratched, and wafers can be defects. So then we continue with LID. LID is light inductive degradation. It's a loss of performance, I mean the power of PV modules that happen when you install the PV module for a first time outside, and the sun, let's say, goes through these cells. So then it's this first degradation, which is also mentioned in data sheets. Degradation for the first year, and then up to 25 or 30 years linear degradation. PID, test potential inductive degradation. So the PV module has an aluminum frame, and this frame is grounded to the ground. If PV module is with lower quality, the electron can jump to the frame and be, let's say, grounded, and there can be loss up to 50% in some cases. Static load test, this is a test when on PV module is some amount of snow, and for some period of time with some temperature is let's say snow is somehow pushing to the PV module. So there are results of that electroluminescence test. We couldn't see any micro cracks in these modules. Cells are in a good shape. So stabilization under real sun. We couldn't see any LID problem. Jinko, Ntype, and Q-cell P-type, pretty good performance, just 0.5% loss. And this was for 1 week of exposure of the sun. And Phono lost 1.2%, which is still a good result. based on datasheet warranty. When we are talking about that special product Ntype, so 100% as a new product, 400 watt peak Ntype. After the initial stabilization lost 0.5%, then there was some regeneration, and after PID test only 0.3% loss, and after that static load, so they simulated the snow with minus 50 degrees Celsius, also 0.5% of losses compared to the new one. So we are in the end of the webinar. Thank you for attention. We will continue with question and answers, and we will send you later the webinar to your email address. Also, there will be a new webinar, 9th of December. It will be about Solax energy storage solution. And we can check the questions. Okay. So we can't see any question right now. So still you have a chance.
I can have a question, Vojta. How is it with the packing of modules, and what is the trends there from our module manufacturers today?
Thank you for the question. When we are talking about, let's say, utility scale modules, 600, more than 600 watt peaks, there is a new trend that modules will stand like doors, let's say. So there is a new packaging from our suppliers. So also handling will be a little bit different from the past, but it depends on width and length of exact PV modules. But we can see the new trend from the market that modules will be like portrait mounted on the pallets. Okay, question. Maybe more information about using bifacial PV modules on roofs. Okay. So we can see interest from the market, from other markets, that sometimes there are projects like PV module is mounted on a roof with orientation east-west. Then there is some space under the modules from south side, so you gain the power in the morning at the evening from the front side, from the main side, and from the back side there is a reflection from the south, so you gain because of the foil over the on the roof, or there is some kind of floor which can reflect the sunshine, and based on albedo parameter or coefficient, we can also calculate the additional gain from this side. The difference in prices I can't tell you right now, but usually in past it was $0.01 or euro per watt peak. Doesn't matter in this different, but payback was really short in these cases. Yeah, thank you for question. Any other question from your side, guys? How much extra power I can gain on such installation? It depends on that albedo. Of course, there are some softwares that we can use for this calculations. So it depends if it's like white foil as a ground on roof, or if it's black foil. So of course, some good reflection material like white color or something like that can help us. And I don't know, it can be like 5%, 10%. It really depends on place of installation. Yeah, in South America it will be more, in Finland it will be less, but I think we can calculate it in some software. Any other question, guys? No. Okay. In that case, I thank you. And see you in a next webinar. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.